teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Round 80! 6, right there, 56. And I'm coming after you.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Allen now looks to throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
It's caught. Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
2nd and 6 at the Browns' 33.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
All day, baby, all day.
Allen. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Throwing is Allen on third. Caught on the right side by Jones. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
From the gun, it's Allen. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns' defense has a touchdown. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now Allen to throw on third down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Early lead in that one for the Packers. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Bell slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 34. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
A 3rd down gain of 19.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Flushed out right. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Damian Ratley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They run it with Carson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They're not ready for this, man. Go.
To throw, it's Allen. The left side completion to Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Browns, first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Now Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Let's go. Hey, Charlie. 53.
Mayfield looks to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Matt Milano, he's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
Hey, Zoo!
To the air, Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
A first down throw from Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Allen. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Defense wins championship, baby.
To throw, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He'll return it from the 6. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
All day, every day.
Allen going to throw again. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
56.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Greg Zuerlein. We all remember the 57-yarder that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
From the 31, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Intercepted. The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
56. Yo.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. There they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 36-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert.
Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 47. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding what receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now this one complete to Robert Foster. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
56. Check 56.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
It has been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play. One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. They run again with Carson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Mayfield now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. This is Bell. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Shit! Watch the shit! Hey, on 33. Go! Mike 29. You're trapped!
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Mayfield now, and that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
56 to Monk.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Carson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This is Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
Check! Check! 53, Mike!
going to try and throw on third down. And that's complete to Croft. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And Jones has it over the middle. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's another Bills. First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Round 80. 5 wide. Let's go, D. Let's go. 56.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike, 53.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Regular. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Smooth. I'm coming after you. Check. Crunch. Alert.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Allen looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Allen dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 3rd and short.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
56 to Mike.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And the grab by Croft. Give him 3 yards there on the first down pickup.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
56. Check 56. Here we go, D.
Draw play. This is Carson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Yeah. Check 99. Check 99. Middle. Hey, tight.
Allen now looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
That's another Bills. First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on. And that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
All day, dog.
Mayfield to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
First down, Cleveland.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Again, it's Bell. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to break up 4th. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Cleveland, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.